I'm letting the video and the audio sync up. What up, what up? What the fuck is going on? What's up, Scuba? Steve! I still remember you saying you changed your name to just Scuba because people were just calling you Steve. What's up? Well, I said I would stream again the next day. Is it the next day or is it the day after? I think it's the day after. I ain't Steve. I know. I know. I remember you saying that, though. Oh, man. So I woke up this morning. I woke up yesterday afternoon. I still haven't gone to bed yet. I was in I was in bed last night. I went to bed a little late. I took a nap. I don't sleep. I don't, for 8 fucking hours. I go down for a nap for about 3 hours. And then later on, about the time a normal person would go to sleep, I take another nap for about 3 to 4 hours. So that's kind of what I do. And I was going down to sleep, and bitches listening got her ear to the door right fucking now. Listen to what I'm saying, too. I don't know if I should finish the story. I'll just leave it at, we got into a fight. We got into a fight. I was like, fuck it. So I came out here and I didn't sleep. I was like, I'm not sleeping. So it was a full morning this morning. Went grocery shopping and shit. Well, on this morning's stream, we're going to talk about, it's what have you been playing, for fuck's sakes. It's what have you been playing. I got some games I was going to talk about last time, but I was talking about that porn, the butthole, the porn, but all the buttholes. Karen's got my email, right? Just kidding. You get one mom joke, even though she's dead. Even though she's dead, you get. I'll let you have one. I deserve it. All right, I'm a little nervous because you're watching and shit. Like I said in my last video, it's a little harder when people are watching. What the hell is going on, man? Nothing much. I just told you what was going on. I got into a fight with the wife, didn't sleep, and then went to the store. I'm actually playing. She's playing right now. What's she playing? Stacy! She's bitching. What you playing? Dragon Quest Builders.
Did you forget?
No, I'm just being theatrical. Yeah, she's playing Dragon Quest Builders on the Switch. She played. I don't know if you played. Shout out to Stacy. What? Huh? Yeah, she played Dragon Quest Builders. It was actually her first Dragon Quest game. She actually hasn't played any of the mainstream series. I'm very, very excited for the remake of Part 3 in the HD 2D engine. That's the engine that they did Octopath Traveler on. Very excited for that shit. She actually haven't played any of the other ones. That was her first one. She beat chapters 1 through 3, And then she just didn't beat chapter 4, didn't finish the game. She really enjoyed her time with it. And I was like, I've seen all I came to see. I'm like, really? The 4th chapter is probably one of the best. She's like, no, I'm good. Anyway, so she always wanted to go back and play and beat that, especially after playing Dragon Quest Builders 2, which she adores. She played through that whole thing, loved her time with it. So she wanted to go back and do this. She's doing like a couple of huge, huge projects. You know, she's in that, you know, gamer, just beating the shit out of things. She just beat Elden Ring not too long ago. I haven't even played that yet. That's her first Souls game, her Souls-like game. She just beat that. She's got a fire under her fucking ass. She's going back and she's doing a Zelda project similar to my Final Fantasy project. She's playing through each and every single one of them in order. She just beat the very first Zelda. She played that on the NES Classic. God bless her soul. She went through all the first 8 dungeons of that game on the NES Classic, and it beat the shit out of her. She was having a horrible time. She almost cried. It was just awful. And it wasn't just the game, how old the game was, and archaic, and just janky and weird and unorthodox. It was the controls, and we figured out in the 8th dungeon, at the end of the fucking game, she went through the 9th dungeon and beat Ganon eventually. She figured out we didn't have it in fucking game mode. And so there was major lag in the controls. It felt like she was sliding all over the place. Just tons of lag. We fixed that. She felt really dumb for playing through most of the game, not in game mode, but she fixed it. Problem was solved, and she beat the game. So lesson learned. But she did that, and she's also playing Metroid. She's playing the Metroid games. We do this thing where I pick like every other game that she plays, because I played so much shit, and she trusts me just to pick a good one. She just tells me what fucking genre she's in the mood for, if she wants something long or short. Last time she's like, she tried Dragon Age Inquisition. I really like the game. She tried that. It wasn't for her. She went through and she beat it. She rushed through it a bit, but it just wasn't for her. But she still had that itch. And she was like, I want something that Dragon Age, did I say Dragon Quest? Dragon Age Inquisition was supposed to be. She just wants a big, large, open world narrative storytelling, not narrative storytelling, environmental storytelling, something you could really sink your teeth into, spend tons of hours dicking around if you want, good story, voice acting, just the whole 9 yards, something like The Witcher 3. And I recommended Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And she absolutely fucking loved that game. She put in like 100 hours in that. So that was the last one I recommended, and she played through. And so now I'm having her go through all the Metroid games. She just, on the Game Boy Advance, Metroid and Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission on the Game Boy Advance. Y'all remember that shit? Remember that shit? I remember explaining to you. I remember explaining just Samus and the space pirates and the history there, and you were loving that shit. Yeah, I was thinking about that, recommending this shit to her, and I'm doing the same thing with her again. Well, not with her again, but I'm doing the same thing again, this time with her. And I started her out on the very first game, the remake of the original Metroid, and she liked it pretty well. Oh shit, did you? I'm waiting for them to remaster the second one the same way they remastered the first Metroid Prime. I'm waiting for that shit. That'll be awesome. Yeah, Echoes was hard. I actually didn't beat that until a few years ago. I've had it, owned it forever, but I beat Echoes for the first time like My fucking memory's hazy. If I had to put a number on it, I would say about 5 or 6 years ago. About 5 or 6 years ago, I beat Echoes for the first time. I remember I got stuck on one of the late game bosses. I think it was the Emperor Ing. I think it was the fucking Emperor Ing. I just got stuck there and I just lost interest over time. And yeah, 5 or 6 years ago, never actually beat it, and I replayed it through the Metroid Prime trilogy on the Wii. At the time of, I was playing on the Wii U, and yeah, I did that shit. But yeah, I'm all stoked for Metroid again with that remaster that came out. It was amazing. I 100%ed it and everything. Oh shit, do you? Oh yeah. Zero Suit fucking Samus. Rule 34, Zero Suit Samus. Shout out. Have you seen that? I don't know her name. Have you seen the real live cam girl who fucking cosplays as her? She's got a fucking zipper that goes all the way down, tucks around, and goes up and shit. I was looking at that shit. But yeah, that's what she's been doing. She's been playing Zelda, Metroid, and Dragon Quest. She's playing that right now. She's having a pretty good time. She's really trying to like do these big projects and stuff. Pretty proud of her. Pretty proud of her. I'm always proud when a friend or a family member or someone, you know, buckles down and does some hardcore gaming shit. Always proud of that stuff. And my wife, being my ultimate protege, I guess. What up? What up? So that's what she's been playing. But I'll get into what I've been playing. As you know, I've been doing a Final Fantasy project. There's way more Final Fantasy games than I would have liked. I'm doing all the mainstream ones. I have a burnout problem. I can't just play games. I can't play games back to back. I can't do like, you know, I can't play Final Fantasy and then when that's done after 30 hours, okay, now let's do Final Fantasy 2. No, I can't do that. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I've had my fill. I'll come back to this shit later. Can't fucking do it. So it's taken me two goddamn years now. I started this shit. I beat 1, 2, 3, and I just beat 4 recently. I was a little late. I was supposed to start at the beginning of the year. I didn't get to it until I believe. Well, Look at me fucking thumbing through this shit like a fucking asshole. I can't find it. I think it was like at the end of February or maybe January. I got to it late and it took me like a whole month playing off and on, but I finally got through Final Fantasy IV. That one was amazing. Final Fantasy IV, that's Final Fantasy II on the Super Nintendo. Did that recently. So I was a little late with that. I don't plan on being super late to the next one, but the next one is Final Fantasy V. I've played almost all of the Final Fantasies, even though I hadn't beat any of them before I was starting this project. So there's very few I hadn't actually played. The only Final Fantasy games I haven't played at all were 5 and I think that's it. Final Fantasy V. That was the only one I never played. And 4. 4? I think 4. 5 and 4 are like the only ones I never played. So I'm excited to play 5. But that's for later. I plan on doing that in July after the first things. Oh, I got some good news in the culture war. If you've been following the whole Bud Light thing, you guys heard the whole Bud Light boycott thing because people are sick of that shit being rammed down our throats. You're fucking get the fuck down. That shit is rammed down our throats every fucking day. I'm tired of it. Xbox, on their Twitter account at least, 4 days into Pride Month, removed their colorful logo. That's a little surprising. It's a little surprising. Good news for me. Hopefully us. Good news for me. I just hate that shit constantly forced upon us all the time for no reason. It's weird. It's fucking weird. And the reason why I don't like that shit in my games is because, well, I'm playing a game right now, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I'm playing a game right now. It's really good. It's really goddamn good. It's great. It's absolutely great. I might give it a solid, I would give it a solid 9 or a 9.5. It depends on how it ends. I'm not at the end yet, but it's an amazing game. I actually disagree with what a lot of critics say about it. They say the story and the characters are amazing, but the gameplay isn't as good as it could be, and that's where it loses some people. I disagree. I think the gameplay is absolutely phenomenal. And this game would be like a solid 9.5 for me. But it's got the weird, gross politics and shit that just bog it down. It's just for no reason, for no fucking reason that's in there. Anyway, I don't like that shit in the games because they focus too much on it, and it makes it so that they forget to do anything else. They forget to put, the actual things people like and want in the games because they're too focused on that bullshit. They do it all the fucking time. A great example would be the Saints Row remake. They got everyone's pronouns down. They got the communist propaganda in there just perfect. They made sure that shit fucking went off without a hitch. But they forgot to make the game actually fun. So yeah, they don't got their priorities straight. Anyway, I learned that this morning. That's pretty cool. Anyway, on to the actual fucking thing. So I hadn't slept all fucking night, and I had some coffee, and I'm a little so yeah. I played and beat. I was playing I'll start with Skyrim. Yeah, that game that I played a million goddamn times beforehand. I played Skyrim about the middle of the month. I don't know what came over me. I was watching a YouTube video. I'm actually subscribed to two guys. Well, I watch these two guys' videos. One of them I'm subscribed to. His name's Joov, Joov, Joov. He does a lot of Fallout and Skyrim content. He'll just say, fuck it, I'm going to install all these weird mods, and it's cool. I like that shit. I love these Bethesda games. I'm very excited for Starfield. And I was just watching some of the shit. And I'm like, fuck it. You know what? I want to pop in and play Skyrim. And that's exactly what I did. Around the 15th of May. Yeah, May. I get May and March mixed up. But yeah, about the 15th or so, exactly on the 15th, actually, I popped that shit in, and I've been playing it for the past 2 weeks. I recently just, one day I was playing it, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm done. And I stopped. I was doing a playthrough on, I wanted to become, I got heavy into the lore and shit. I wanted to make an orc character with a backstory, full RPing. I wanted him to be like, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted him to be a mystic. I wanted to trade between the orc strongholds in Skyrim, and I even installed a mod so that I could start in the orc stronghold. And it fucked with the game too much. It wasn't a good experience, so I uninstalled everything and just started up vanilla, on that fucking that horse ride, the carriage ride. And I just pretended like I, got caught in the siege or in the ambush or whatever. And yeah, so I just pretended like the two the two characters were the same character. I named him the Mystic Merchant because I had some end game goals. My end game goals was merchant based. Okay, so the Mystic Merchant, he is conjuration. He doesn't use any weapons, any physical weapons. Conjured weapon. Do I have the piece of paper here? I had rule sets for me too. My rules were conjured weapons only. I couldn't use actual weapons or armor. So I literally walked around. So no fucking weapons, conjuration and conjured weapons only. And I was a blacksmith, and I smithed my own weapons and armor. And I couldn't wear anything except shit I fucking smith. So I literally, like, the beginning of the game, the whole start of the game, and the whole fucking the first dungeon I went through, the fucking mines, I went through naked. I went through fucking naked because I didn't have any weapons or armor. So I went through that, and I went to Whiterun, bought the bound sword, and then I was able to have some fucking weapons. Finally, I was like fisting people and shit for fucking kills and shit, stealthing around. And then when I came out on the other side, I had a bunch of fucking ore, and I made myself a shitty piece of fucking piece of fucking mail. And I was just going through the game that way. My end game goal was to get my speech skill to 100 and to obtain 1 million gold. I knew that was doable because someone bounced out. They're like, fuck this Skyrim shit. I knew that was doable because in my last playthrough I played fucking around a while ago, I got 800,000 gold doing something similar. I was like abusing alchemy and selling the potions and shit. It's a lot of fucking. I was so good in alchemy. I was able to like make potions that I could clean out an entire fucking merchant's fucking gold with one potion. I was set. I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to be a hardcore dungeon diver, go into dungeons and sell all the gear. I was grabbing everything, and I mean everything. Cast iron pots, torches, baskets, tongs, blacksmith hammers, fucking soul gem fragments, everything. Leather strips. I grabbed fucking everything. All the tomatoes, all the goddamn tomatoes and leeks. I was selling them all. I didn't actually get to do this. I got my speech skill to about 80 before I quit, and I accumulated about 100,000 gold. I spent about 100,000 gold because I was going to become Thane in each of the holds, including Solstheim on the DLC, and do all the quests for the merchants there and buy properties in each of the places. That was also part of my goals. I had done that. I got Thane in every place except for Eastmarch because I didn't want to progress the Civil War campaign. And I did all the merchant quests, and I invested in all the shops, and I bought property in every single hold, and that took away about 100,000 fucking gold. So I got about 200,000 gold, but by the time I quit, I had about 100,000. Like I said, I easily got 800,000 in my last playthrough before that, so I know it was doable, but ultimately, I failed my long-term goals. I didn't get my speech is so hard to get up. It's so fucking hard. It takes so much. It takes so fucking much. I'm constantly buying and selling shit all the fucking time individually. It takes so fucking long. It's horrible. But I eventually was just done with that shit. So I decided to throw that in and do that about the 15th. And for the last 2 weeks or so, that's what I've been playing. But before that, I was playing and beating games like a motherfucker. So starting on the 7th, I beat Octopath Traveler. I think I talked a little bit about this, but I put it down as a win because technically I beat it. I believe I talked about this before. Oh, yeah, the Mystic Merchant. Pretty fucking gay. What did you name the orc? I named him the N-word. Is that what you want to hear? My wife is black. I've been catching her saying that shit. She'll call me that. we'll be doing something like making the bed. I'll be making my side, and she'll be making her side, and she'll be like, dun, 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 what the fuck? You folded it like a fucking nigger. I'm like, what are you doing? I say that. You don't say that. She's like, why not? You are one. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'm an asshole. I say that because I'm an asshole. Everyone knows I'm an asshole. Don't say that. Shout outs to the mystical merch. The mystical merch. Oh my God. Holy shit. Why are you so racist, Scuba? Oh man. Thank God the other person left. Yeah, so Octopath Traveler, though, real talk, man. Technically, I beat the game. I went through and I beat everyone's main stories, and I triggered the credit roll. Technically, the credits roll after you... Technically, I beat the game. I went through and I beat everyone's main stories, and I triggered the credit roll. Technically, the credits roll after you beat the first person's main storyline. No, she does not give me the pass. But I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Now, I get slapped every time I say it. I get slapped every time I say it. Octopath Traveler, man. I have wonderful memories. It's only been a month, but thinking back on it, I have wonderful memories of that game, but also excruciating memories of it. It was a brilliant game from beginning all the way up to the very end, and they pull that Japanese bullshit. Basically, the true ending of the game is locked behind a bunch of convoluted side quests, prerequisites that you gotta fucking do. I had to like use a guide to figure out what the fuck to do and where to go and shit like that. The game does not nudge you to it at all. And it's this really cool culmination of all the stories and all the side stories and the people and the things and the places you meet and all these places you go and stuff. It's the culmination of all of that and this like greater evil, this ancient evil you've been hearing in your travels the whole fucking time. It's a really cool end. It's like Lavos shit, right? But the game doesn't push you towards it at all. It isn't the real ending of the game. It's like a side story thing. And you had to go around doing all this convoluted shit in order to do it. And when you finally get there, it's a boss gauntlet. You have to fight, I think, 12 bosses back to back. Or maybe it's 8. I don't remember. It's a lot of fucking bosses back to back. There's no save points in there. You got to just do it all in one go. And then after you do that, you fight the final boss that have 2 forms. And you got to fight each of them subsequent, one after the other, but with 2 of your fucking teams. And I got railed on this shit because about the later half of the game, I decided on my final party members that I liked the most, and I gave them the best classes of the game, and I just used them, and everybody else was just underpowered. The game forces you to use those people. It was bullshit, absolute fucking bullshit. I could have beaten it still, but what I would have had to have done is go back and power level my guys that were underpowered and just grind out for 10 hours extra, getting these guys up to snuff for no reason because the game forces you to use your B team. It was insane. And I ultimately quit out and I said, you know what? I'm not doing this shit. Technically, I already beat the fucking game. So I'm putting that shit down as a fucking win. And on the 7th, I fucking said peace out to that shit. Even after all that, I'm really excited to play Octopath Traveler 2. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that and the end of that to make sure I don't fuck myself again. But it is what it is. LOL. Yeah, and how about not? How about no? That shit sucked so bad. I also did kind of an off project. I have over 1,000 games in my library on Xbox. In between games with gold and my digital library and stuff. I have and back compat shit. I have over 1,000 fucking games. So I recently went through and I categorized all of them. In the tabs, and all the ones that I haven't beaten, and I arranged them and made 9 fucking categories. And I was just going through, seeing which ones I was gonna do, and I decided I was gonna play some of the oldest games on my lists that I haven't gotten to yet. And so starting off, I played Unmechanical Extended. I don't remember how I got this game. I think maybe it was a Games with Gold. No, it wasn't. I got it on sale way, way back in the year 2000. In the year 2000. I got this way fucking back at the beginning of the Xbox One generation. So at the beginning of not this generation, but the one before that. So we're talking 2013, 2012. I think the Xbox One launched in 2012, almost a decade ago. Fucking, I bought this game on one of the sales. It was a smaller, indie game, artsy fartsy, easy, platformy. This was after, the game Limbo came out, and everyone was all excited to play shit like that. I thought it looked cool enough. I think I paid something around $10 for it. And there it sat on my hard drive on that console, and then the Xbox One X, and then the Xbox One S. No, on that console, then the Xbox One S, then the Xbox One X, and then on the Series X that I have now. It just sat there doing nothing, and I was looking at it the whole. Are you looking? Can you see it? I'm looking at it. The whole for a goddamn decade. I was looking at this goddamn thing. And something in me just was like, nah, I don't want to play it. So I finally said enough is enough, and I played it. I had broken all my game library up into so many different categories. Part of the appeal, part of the selection process was to play shit that is going to surprise me. Play stuff that I wouldn't necessarily want to pick as my next game number one. So after I went through that process, I just picked the shit that's been sitting there on the shelf for the longest. It's time. It's just fucking time. I did pay money and buy these goddamn things. Might as well play them eventually. That's the plan. So I popped Unmechanical Extended in, and I played that, and I beat it, and it's exactly what I thought it would be. Exactly. It's a short, easy puzzle platformer that's artsy, and would I recommend it? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I do or not, because you're not going to be able to play it if you don't own it already, because it was at some point taken off of the marketplace. You cannot purchase it. When I went into the store option for it, it said it is unavailable for purchase. But I was able to download it and play it and earn achievements for it with no problem. So that's good. I'm waiting for the day that they're going to strip something out of my library, a game I fucking paid for. And when that happens, I'm going to demand a refund. There's cases, there was something, I think it was, what was it? I think it was Sony, don't quote me on that. And I think it was some sort of movie service thing in Europe, specifically Germany. They were taking movies out of people's library that they bought and paid for, that they had the rights to because they bought it. And the big kerfuffle was that Sony wasn't issuing refunds for it, even though they literally had no access to it. And so never say never. I don't think Microsoft would do that today, right? In the same situation. They have enough money, they'd go, you know what? Fuck it. Here's your money back. You can't access it anyway. I think they would, but never say never. Never fucking say never. because they don't give a shit. They're a corporation that don't give a fuck. They always have been, always will be. Case in point, the Pride Month logo that all the fucking woke companies pop up every fucking time June 1st rolls around. What do on the 1st of July? They snatch that shit away with the quickest. They don't give a fuck about the gays. I don't give a fuck about the gays, but I ain't pretending to. I don't fucking throw up a fucking pride flag for exactly 30 days and no longer and then snatch that shit down. I don't fucking do that shit. 4 days into the month and they took that shit away because of the backlash from the whole Bud Light situation. Fucking nuts. Fucking nuts. It makes me smile, but nonetheless, they are an evil corporation that don't give a fuck about me or you or the gays or anyone. I said the gays. They don't give a fuck. So I don't think Microsoft would do the same thing, but with the movie shit, with digital rights and stuff, games even. But who knows? Never say never. There may come a time where they don't give a fuck and they're like, we don't care that you paid money for this shit. We don't care that it's only $4 10 fucking years ago. You ain't getting that $4 fucking bucks back. I wouldn't hold it past them. I really wouldn't. But the good news there is I was still able to download it and access it and earn achievements and everything. So it was a decent game. It felt old. It had serious Xbox 360, the Undergarden energy, if you know what I'm talking about. Serious like 360 energy with games like that. The fucking 200 gamer score games and shit. Serious energy like that. It was decent. I enjoyed it, but it was over in a flash. I think it took me about 3 to 4 hours. I didn't use a guide, but I looked up the solution to one of the puzzles. It was like this light puzzle. I didn't even know what you were supposed to do. I was just matching everything. So everything, all the fucking lights and the colors lit up at the same time. I'd fucking press one button, the blue would come on and 2 of the greens would disappear. I'm like, what do I do? So I fucking looked that shit up online. That was about it. Other than that, it was pretty easy, pretty straight to the point. Actually, I had a fun time fucking around with some of the achievements. You had to fucking balance some shit on your fucking head. So I threw the shit up on the wall, and I fucking rolled over to the fucking wall, and I held it up there and shit so it wouldn't fall. I'm like, is this work? Is this working? It didn't work. You had to do it legit without fucking cheating, but I got that shit. It was a decent game. Like I said, some serious 360 Undergarden energy. It was pretty fun. I finished that thing up the very next day. I was like, I'm done with Octopath on the 7th. And then I fired this thing up that day, I think. And I finished it the day afterwards and on the 8th. Did the same thing on the 9th with another game after that. After that, I was going back to the pool and drawing from other games that I haven't played. I was going to say other games that I played. It's drawing from the pool of games that were sitting on the shelf that I haven't touched. I've owned for so fucking long. This category, I named it sequels and collections. I got a whole category of sequels and collections, games that I own more than one game of that I haven't played yet. So example would be Well, Bleed, for instance. I own Bleed 1 and Bleed 2, and I haven't played either of them. And then, of course, there's like the actual collection discs, like the Castlevania collection, the Ezio trilogy. What else do I got on there? Oh, the Mega Man X trilogy collections and shit like that. I got a whole category for that shit. And the oldest motherfucker on the list, the oldest goddamn standalone game, not part of a collection that I own, is Bleed. And I got this part of a bundle. It was like $10. It was valued at like $80 or something like that. It had 4 games in it. I didn't own any of them. And I said, fuck it. I'll buy it. Why not? Truth be told, I don't do that anymore. I used to do that a lot more when I was like really collecting games. But at this point in my life, I mean, I don't even know. Am I going to beat all of these games before I die? Like I'm almost 40, And the games have not stopped. They just keep fucking coming. And I gotta prioritize. I gotta say, I'm never gonna get to you. Go away. I gotta start doing that with some of these things. But nonetheless, Bleed 1 and Bleed 2 got it part of the bundle. I got this thing a long ass time ago, like at the beginning of the Xbox One generation, and there it sat on my hard drive for the longest time. I've kind of been I gotta be honest, I didn't want to play it. It just looked too fucking jank. I did not like the pixel art. I didn't even know if it was pixel art or not, but it looked too fucking jank and I didn't want to play it, but I played it. I feel like you don't have some games I bought years ago in my library too. I feel like I don't have. Sometimes I will come across a game that I thought I owned, that I thought I bought, and the prompt to buy it will be there. I'm like, hold up. I thought I fucking bought you in a sale like 7 years ago. It is very possible that there was a licensing issue. When I got the Series X, or going from the 360 to the Xbox One generation, or registering my new console when I got the Series S, when I upgraded in the middle of the Xbox One generation or something. Did I say Series X? The Xbox One S. It's very possible that some lines got crossed and there was a glitch that some of the licenses didn't come over, and that is very possible. That is very possible. I've also been wrong a couple of times. Like maybe there's been times I bought a game physically, like I went to Best Buy, got a game, and then like it's on Game Pass. I'm like, oh, it's on Game Pass, I could play it. I play it, I beat it or something like that. And then Stacy wants to play it later, or I'll recommend it to her. I'm like, oh yeah, just download it. And I'll forget I played it on Game Pass. And it's like, hold on, it's not fucking here. What the fuck? So, that shit is so fucking confusing. That's part of the reason why I don't buy physical games anymore, on the Xbox at least. I'm still buying all physical on the PlayStation and Nintendo, but I believe this will probably be the last generation I'm going to be doing that, at least for the PlayStation. But yeah, I got a nice little PlayStation library there. More on that in a second, but back to Bleed. Bleed was another game it sat there for so goddamn long, in part because I didn't want to play it. I enjoyed this thing significantly more than Unmechanical. It's just a better game. It's just a better game. Awful goddamn controls. First of all, you jump with the right trigger. Technically, it's a twin stick shooter. It's not a traditional twin stick shooter where you're moving a thing around with the one stick and you use the right stick to shoot in all directions, like what was that game? Geometry Wars, if you remember that shit. Technically, it's not that kind of twin stick shooter, but it is a twin stick shooter in that same sense. You're just controlling a person. They just walk back and forth, and then the right stick controls the direction you shoot, and then you press the right trigger to jump. It's such horrible fucking controls. I get why they do that, but it's still so fucking horrible. Once you get over that shit, though, game's fucking fun. Game's fucking fun. You earn like cash in the games, and in between levels, you could buy different weapons, permanently equip them, and it was just a fucking blast. It was a goddamn blast. It was challenging. If you die, the checkpoints are very forgiving, and it's just super fast paced. Go, 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 die, go, die, go. Very reminiscent of something like Super Meat Boy, but a shooter. It was really cool, really great, very nonsensical. It was just very enjoyable. I liked it. I'm actually really excited to play Bleed 2. But after I beat this, I took Bleed 2 out of my collections category and I threw it in, a different category with all the standalone games and stuff. Since technically it's the only game standalone by itself. It's not part of a series. It's part of a series, but I don't have to play the series. I don't have that left. I already did one of them. So I did that, and then after that, we go to our games with gold category. What is that? Is that a game? Is the game called Is that what you're trying to say? I don't understand. I don't understand. You text me sometimes. I'm like, I don't understand. Am I stupid? Am I not getting it? Because I got that walnut brain. You gotta try. I don't get it. He's like, you fucking boomer. Shout outs to Geometry Wars. Did I play the first one? I don't know if I played the first one. I don't know. I played the second one, really liked it. I really liked the third one. A lot of people say they didn't like the third one, but I really liked the third one. They just kind of bumped up that visual style up to like 10. You had like all sorts of effects and shit, and I loved like how you progress through the levels. It wasn't just a menu with modes. It was actually like a Mario 3 style map with progression. It was great. It was fucking great. Yeah, shout out to fucking Geometry Wars for sure. The next game was the games with gold category. I have tons of games with gold that I never even fucking touched. And these days, games with gold suck ass straight up. Straight up, not even sugarcoating that shit. No reason to play games with gold anymore. Every once in a while, they'll drop something that's kind of interesting. Like one that they dropped a few months ago was called Bladed Fury. Never heard anything about the game ever. The reviews were all right on the Xbox storefront, but looking at, the trailer and the pictures and shit like that, it actually looks like a pretty fucking cool game. That was the last one that they dropped that I have any interest in playing. Other than that, they've been stinkers. But so I went through all of my games with gold, all the ones that I haven't played yet. So these are specifically digital games with gold that I have access to, that I don't own outright. And again, going with the theme of shit that's been sitting there for so long. The first games with gold title, I believe, is Zeros. It's called. I remember when that came out, people were shitting on it from the get-go. This game sucks, but it was free. And at the beginning of the generation, there wasn't absolutely tons to play. But even then, that game got a bad reputation for just being an ass game. But this was one of the earlier games. So Many Me. I think that was maybe the second or third game ever to come out for games with gold. For the Xbox One. For the Xbox One, that is. And I gotta be honest, it was really good. I'm actually kicking myself. I hadn't played this thing earlier. It was a solid platform puzzle game. It was very colorful. There was it was kind of glitchy here and there. The achievements kind of were a little wonky. I remember I was playing Call of Duty online in an online match, and goddamn, the fucking achievement for beating So Many Me popped up while I was playing. Like, what the hell is going on? So there was some wonk, some jank, but overall the game was pretty great. The puzzles are pretty straightforward. It's very unique. It's basically lemmings. You got a whole string of people that follow you and mimic your movements. If you jump, they jump where you jump, and it's like a snake train. And you could turn into like a block in midair, and then all of them kind of jump on top of the block that's hovering there, and then you could jump off of that and turn into a block, and then relinquish hold on the first one and just kind of rinse and repeat to kind of cheese your way. You could have unlimited jumps, and it feels like you're cheesing the game. It feels like, okay, I got this down. I could kind of cheat the system to get further than I should, but the game accounts for that. And then it has some wild puzzles, and it's genuinely challenging. There's like little challenge coins you could get. There's like stars you could collect, and then there's the end game fucking goal you got to get to. Excuse me. But yeah, it was very fun. And People complain in the comments about how hard it is, and it's not. The game is not a hard game. It is not classified as a hard game. It is not the Dark Souls of puzzle platformers. No, that would be fucking The Witness. My God, The Witness. Yo, have you played The Witness? That shit is genuinely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And it's so hard because you need to be a legit genius to figure that out yourself. I got all the way to the final area of the game, and I just watched fucking YouTube videos of how to do it. And even watching that shit, I couldn't understand what I was doing. It was so bizarre. Man. So fucking you've never heard of The Witness? Jonathan Blow, the guy who did Braid, so many years ago on the 360, everyone loved and said how genius the game was. He basically upped that shit to 10, made a 3D puzzle platforming game. It's called The Witness, and holy shit, it's awesome. It starts off slow, but the game teaches you rules. The game teaches you rules. There's no in-game journal where it keeps track of shit. You gotta fucking use your own head and use real-world notes to learn the shit that you fucking done. That fucking the fucking Charlie Day meme. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's fucking got the strings on the walls and shit. That's what you gotta fucking do to figure shit out. It's nuts. It's absolutely fucking nuts. But yeah, it was great. Why am I talking about The Witness? Oh yeah, because it's such an awesome game. No, the So Many Me isn't hard like The Witness is. It's just a fairly simple puzzle platformer that gets kind of challenging towards the end of the game. It's done really well. It starts off incredibly easy, and the majority of the game, like World 2 to the final world, like the majority of the game is fun, challenging, and fair. Just perfect. Just absolutely perfect. You learn as the game goes, and nothing is truly too challenging. Just paced really, really well for someone such as myself. And look at Luigi's hat. That's not how it goes. That's not how that shit goes. Mario's is even worse. I felt the need to say that. Anyway, it's paced really well, and it was really great, and I'm sorry I didn't play it sooner. But that shit was sitting on my fucking digital shelf literally since the launch of the Xbox One. I'm a little sad. They just don't make games like that anymore. Over the years, I've bought goddamn indie games and platformers and pixel art shit, and they're hit and miss. Most of them are a miss, but this game was really awesome, and they just don't make games like this nowadays. If there's some sort of like pixel art, or not even pixel art, maybe it uses like some sort of like flash animation, Newgrounds style fucking art, something similar to like Alien Hominid or some shit like that. The games are usually garbage. I mean, you could have some fun with them, but usually they're garbage, at least these days. I try to stay away from them, but this is exactly the type of game I would stay away from these days. But this one was great. It really was. I'm kicking myself for not trying it earlier. And then we got Beautiful Katamari. We got Beautiful Katamari. Yeah, Castle Crashers got a remake? I don't think it got a remake. I just think it just got ported to the Xbox. I got that shit for free because I played the original. Sometimes they do that shit. There was Castle Crashers, and then there was Bastion. And I think there's another game. They ported it over on the Xbox One, and they just gave you the Xbox One version for free because you owned the original on the 360. That was really cool. Yeah, re-release. Castle Crashers did get one. I played through that. I never actually beat the original, but I did beat the remake on the Xbox One eventually. That was a. I'm just gonna say that game was a product of its time. Everyone went gaga over that game when it first came out, and it was pretty cool. But I didn't beat it for a reason. I eventually did, like I said, but having done so, I don't know, man. It wasn't my favorite. It was good, but it wasn't my favorite. I don't know. I'm definitely in the minority here, but Castle Crashers is one that I just don't get what everyone else is talking about when it comes to that. I thought it was fine. But I played, and then I hopped into Beautiful Katamari. This was yet another one that's been sitting on my list. In this category, I went with 360 back compat games. There's a ton of 360 back compat titles. I own an exceedingly large amount of 360 and OG Xbox back compat titles. I have been on a mission to buy them. My end game goal is to buy and own every back compat title for the 360 and OG Xbox digitally, all of them. It's very doable, and I think I own about half of them. I own something around the line. I own like 300 of them. I've been getting them on sale, snatching them up at $2 a pop. I pretty much bought everything at, under $5 now. And I'm just, every single time something goes on sale, I buy it. The last back compat sale they did a couple of weeks ago, they had like over 100 fucking games on there on sale and shit. I bought like 4 games because I literally own everything else that was on sale. I own fucking everything. So I have this huge list of back compat games, and I wanted to play some of them. And Beautiful Katamari, while not something that has been sitting on my shelf for the longest time, it was something that I've been meaning to get to for the longest time. And I only bought this thing. I think I own it. Yeah, I own it physically. But I ain't popping that shit in. I'm done. I'm done with physical shit. Yeah, I'm fucking done popping in physical games. I got my case of 360 games somewhere. Technically, I could have dug it out of the closet and popped it in there. I still own it. I think it used to be yours. I think that was part of the I'm sorry package you gave me, which I appreciate. I accepted that the gift offering. They're not thrown away. I didn't give them away. I'm going to own them forever. And I did play, and I beat this one recently. The only one I played, shout out to the I'm sorry package. Nah, it was good shit. Fucking Avatar, The Last Airbender was part of that shit, I think. There was that Beautiful Katamari. Good, solid stuff. Yeah, I thought the game was great. The only Katamari, I played the original, I think. Yeah. The original, is this? I'm a little confused. No, okay. Yeah, so the original Katamari Damacy was... Yeah, the original Katamari Damacy for the PlayStation 2 I own. They remade that, and I'm excited to get to that and play it. I don't know if I own it physically or if it's digital. So I have so many games. I have so many fucking games. I think I own it somewhere. The remake. It's called Katamari Damacy Rerolled. I'm excited to get to that and play it. This one is one of the sequels. I Wikipedia'd this shit. There's like fucking 10 fucking Katamari games. It's like, okay. Oh, damn, do you? What did you get? What did you order? What did you fucking order? So for anyone that doesn't know, for anyone seeing this, I know Scuba in real life. Solid fucking dude. All the fucking pedophile jokes I make are we're talking about him when we were doing this. How old are you now, Scuba? Are you 30 yet? Are you in your goddamn 30s yet? Because that'd be crazy. That'd be fucking crazy. Because you're old now. I saw a picture of you in that fucking beard. Holy shit. Man, yeah, I saw you once, and you're this 28. Damn, you're almost there. That's the year you get old. 28 is the year. Like literally, 28 is the year, the first year in your human life. Because you're always getting older, getting hair in certain places and shit. 28 is the first year in your human life you will find something falling apart in your body. Something just ain't right that it used to be due to old age, whether it's thinning hair, maybe you find your first gray, maybe you're, lifted weights and your back fucking gets thrown out for the first time, some bullshit that's gonna happen at 28 that ain't never fucking happened before. And it's not just because of the cosmos, it's because you're getting old. 28 is the goddamn year with everyone. Literally, it's around 27 to, I think the number is 27 to 30. What happens is your metabolism slows down enough so that your body is reproducing cells at a slower rate than it's deteriorating. From then on out, it just keeps dropping. It takes longer to heal, all sorts of bullshit. 28's the fucking year. Get ready. Damn. Just wait until you're 38. All sorts of shit. Stacy is 36. Stacy. I heard her grunt because she was getting up. How old are you?
Me?
Yeah. 37. I was close.
I'm a little fart.
Yeah, not as old as me.
I know.
All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, she bought hair dye for the first time recently. She just, her grays show up. I'm pretty gray, I kind of shave my head on the side here. I look okay, but I'm pretty gray. I got a lot of silver in here, a lot of fucking silver in there. Got a lot of silver in my goddamn beard too. Holy shit. A lot of gray going on. A lot of fucking, I'm starting to get gray body hair. I got some fucking gray chest hairs and shit going on. My chest hair ain't gray. It's fine. Ooh, look at all the fucking spots and shit. But yeah, fucking I got gray and shit. No gray ball hair yet. No gray ball hair. It's gonna get there. I had a conversation with one of my exes way back in the day. She was dating a guy who was 45 at the time. She was like 30 at the time. And this was a little bit before I met Stacy. She was 30 at the time. She was dating a guy before me that was 45. She was still kind of in love with him. She fucking talked about him all the fucking time. And at the time I was like in my 20s. I was like 22 maybe. And all she did was fucking talk about him. And I'm like, holy shit. This old fucking man, can you shut the fuck up about him and his gray ball hair? She told me his ball hair was gray and shit like that. So, I got that to look forward to in about 5 years. Y'all old, but keep gaming. Yeah. We're doing pretty good. Mostly it's just, you gotta not, drugs and booze. You can't be doing the drugs and booze. That shit takes years off of your life. Like, my mom and her friends, I'll see some of her friends. I mean, they all got crazy and partied back in the day. Y'all got crazy and partied back in the day. No names. You know what I'm talking about. Everyone be crazy and partying back in the day. Doing them drugs. Some of them more than others. I see some of them these days today. I see some of them these days today. Bitches be looking rough. They look rough. Some of them are about 50. Some of the older ones are about 60. And goddamn, they look 70 and 80 years old, straight up. They look rough. And then there's the friends I remembered who quit drugs when they were still in their 30s, way back in the day. I see them today. Guess what? They look fucking good. They look fucking good. They're about 10, 15, 20 years older than me, but still pretty doable. They look good. They quit drugs, and you could see it. You could see the difference in the older broads that, been doing that shit forever, and the ones who quit when they were younger. That's the key. That's the fucking key. L-O fucking L. Truth, man, truth. There's someone I kind of hang around with. One of my mom's old friends. She quit using recently, and she's been a user for a really long time, a really long fucking time, and yeah, it shows. Because she had someone else over at her house I hadn't seen in a while, and she's about the same age. My God, she looked 20 years younger. 20 years fucking younger. Just fucking nuts how that shit works. But yeah, you want the keys to the kingdom? That's it. It's the drugs and the booze. And it's, that ain't what no 28-year-old wants to hear. I know that shit, but it's the truth. That's the key. That's the key. I know I look pretty good for my age. I ain't saying I'm a sexy beast or nothing like that. I got a long ways to go. I got to work out and shit. I try. But, compared to a lot of my peers, my drugs and my drinky. Tristan looks older than me. Tristan looks older than me. He's 3 years younger than me. He looks older than me. That's a mutual friend of ours. Just, it's what it does. You gotta shout out to Tristan. I love that guy, man. I haven't seen him in a very long time. I ain't gonna pretend like I know him and shit, but love that guy, man. He was, yeah. Yeah, you're making me all sad and shit, man. You're making me all sad. Let's not talk about everyone. What were we talking about? We were trying to talk about fucking beautiful Katamari. That took me about a day to beat. Hard topic change. That took me about a day to beat, but I think that was a it's not funny. I'm also trying to be cordial and stuff, we know each other in real life, but no one needs to know all of our personal businesses, they don't need to know who these people are and stuff and who we're talking about and shit like that, Beautiful Katamari, I enjoyed it. I thought that was the remake of the first game, but it turns out that was a whole separate game. I enjoyed this one, but I beat it and I was over it pretty quickly. Those are weird fucking games. Those are really weird fucking games. This one in particular was really weird. It's a different kind of weird. So like the very first Katamari game was weird in its own way. They had the weird... Everything seemed discombobulated. Just weird bullshit thrown in your face all the time. From the fucking intro of that goddamn game, and the songs and the fake commercials and shit and the story. Was there even a story? Just fucking bizarre. And this one, they actually tried to piece it together with like cutscenes and a storyline and shit like that. That made it weird too, but it kind of lost some of its charm trying to like, it at least attempted to cohesively piece a story together with like a black hole and how you had to plug it up and shit. I don't know if I'm spoiling anything, but the final mission in the game is you roll up the world. I think you could do this in the Katamari games as well. A beautiful Katamari. Get the games mixed up again. Katamari Damacy, the very first one. I think you could do this too. But in this one, you eventually roll shit around until it gets big enough where you're rolling around buildings and cities that eventually you start picking up islands and continents. And then you're literally picking up individual countries. Like you'll be rolling across the globe and you'll pick up Uruguay and France. It'll say it. The shit that you pick up, it'll say the name of the country. Like you just pluck that shit out of the fucking sea. And then eventually it gets so big, the whole fucking planet just comes with. And you just got like Earth in this ball. And then you're in the space. And then when that happens, straight up it goes, okay, we're in space now. And you're just rolling this planet-sized ball around, collecting space dust and particles and shit like that until, again, you pick up other planets, until you have what is a ball the size of everything in our solar system, and you use that and you plug up the black hole. So fucking bizarre. That one gave me trouble because I failed the mission and I had to redo it. And it's a 25-minute mission. It takes 25 missions from rolling up fucking lint underneath the couch to literally planets. It takes 25 minutes. And I was panicking on my second playthrough of the level. And I was like, fuck this shit. The time was running out and I didn't know what to do. So I just said, fuck it. I didn't know if it was big enough. I just rolled that shit in there anyway. And wouldn't you know, it plugged it up. It was big enough. I don't know what you had to do. There's no indicator. You just kind of have to guess. I probably could have beaten it the first time, but time ran out. I don't know. But I eventually beat the goddamn game, and it was pretty fun. I closed the book because I thought I could remember what the fuck I was playing. Borderlands. Yeah. Oh, I played with Stacy. She's going poo-poo. She's closing the door. She's all trying to be quiet and shit, but I'm sitting there blasting her shit out for everyone. Nah, she's just going to the restroom. She might be going poop. Nah, she ain't. Guess how I know? Fucking wrecked that shit the other night. Borderlands Game of the Year. Fucking man, I really try to keep these around an hour. I don't want to have these going on for 2-3 hours, so I got to wrap this shit up. Borderlands. Her and I played and beat Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3. We didn't like... Borderlands 2 was perfect. Borderlands 3, we didn't like it all that much. We both really liked the gunplay and the perk skill tree in Borderlands 3, but the story and the characters just fucking sucked. She never played the original Borderlands, and we got the Game of the Year edition, and I was like, let's fucking play the original Borderlands. And we both had a really good time. You could really see how they were trying to be more serious with it, with some quirkiness, but it was definitely way more serious in tone. It's supposed to be more of a Mad Max type of a thing than just the craziness the Borderlands series has kind of turned out to be. We enjoyed our time with that. I played the Siren, Lilith, I think her name is, and she played Roland. She played Roland because yeah, she played the black dude. Roland was my dude I was playing when I played it at first. I'm a turret guy. I picked him because of the turret. She picked him because of the turret. Now, I picked him because of the turret, and then in Borderlands 2, I played Axton because he had the turret. she usually likes to play the characters with ads. So in Borderlands 2, she played, the fuck was the person we'll call it? The one with the robot. I don't remember the person's name. And then in Borderlands 3, when we played, she played the one that could summon the mech. So she likes the characters with the ads and stuff like that. And so when playing this one, I think his name's Mordecai. I think he had the bird, but she wanted the turret, and so I recommended the turret. And I played as Lilith because I wanted to do the elemental damage and shit like that. I didn't like the perk system very well in this one. It was pretty lackluster and easily could have gone without. You could play Borderlands bare bones without putting any perks into anything, and you'll be fine. But getting those synergies going on in the later games, very good, very well done. But we had a good time. We put in maybe, I don't know, 20 hours or so. We didn't, even though we had the Game of the Year edition, we didn't do all the DLC or anything like that. We just played through and beat that. And that was the final game I played and beat last month on around the 15th. And that's when I started the Skyrim bullshit for the last half of the month. I just played that shit fucking hardcore. There were a couple of games that I played, but I didn't beat. So, for instance, oh yeah, I started Bleed and So Many Me on the same day. I started Bleed and beat it, and then I popped in So Many Me the very same day. And then I beat that either that day or the next day, and I started Beautiful Katamari the very next day. Oh yeah, we have a failed game. We were gonna play. What's up? She said I pooped. We popped in and played Slaps and Beans. It's a real game. It's called Slaps and Beans. It's a digital game. We thought it looked funny and cool, and we thought maybe we'd get a couple of hours of enjoyment after it. But it was so not fun. It was so not fun. It was long and drawn out with way too much text, like a goddamn JRPG. It's supposed to be a beat 'em up. It just wasn't very good. And the controls suck. It just wasn't good. And we played through the first mission and we're like, fuck it. Let's put it down. And that's when I said, hey, you want to play Borderlands? And she's like, all right. For this category, if you didn't already know, co-op games. I got a whole list of co-op games. She said she wanted to play Slaps and Beans next time we go to play a co-op game. And we did, and we hated it. And we ended up playing Borderlands as a supplementary. I did, on the 15th, attempt to play Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. And that's under did not finish. Like Slaps and Beans. That game I did not finish. I love Age of Empires. I was really, really, really digging Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition. I was really pleased when they ported that over to consoles. The interface and the UI and the graphics, everything is amazing. Everything's amazing about that game, but it's so bullshit. The game is so just fucking the bullshit turned up to 11 with I wouldn't even call it difficulty. I'm not very good. I love the games, but I'm not very good at these strategy games. I do love them. That's why I gravitate more towards like city builders and shit, like Sim City or City Skylines or fucking Port Royale or goddamn Tropico. I love all these fucking games. But the ones with combat in them, some of them are so fucking obscure and difficult. I was gonna go through the fucking the historical storylines with all the factions and shit. I was like ready to do that. I went through the tutorial, no problem, no fucking problem going through that William Wallace tutorial. Then I get to the Joan of Arc thing, and the game just beats my ass. it just beats my ass. They keep spawning people and throwing waves of people at me. There's tons of factions that are all fucking gunning for me, stealing the resources, and it's unnecessarily tough. I take over a base finally, and then they launch a counterattack. The game triggers a counterattack where they launch a squadron of people at me and just obliterate everyone. Meanwhile, I have a character I have to fucking defend, and if they die, then I lose the whole mission. It's just bullshit. I couldn't hang. I couldn't fucking hang. Did not finish. Two more games I want to talk about real quickly. Shortly after that, while I was playing Skyrim, I popped in Gravity Rush 2. I was on my last legs of my PlayStation 4 physical library. I beat all of the physical games in my Xbox One library. Finally, I shelved them all, and I still had my PlayStation 4 games I was going to play and beat. I had two of them left. Gravity Rush 2 was the first one. I popped that shit in way back on the 16th, and I played it off and on, and I'm enjoying it. It's really good, really great. I have no shit to talk about it. I wasn't quite ready for that game yet, if you know what I mean. And that's when I decided to also play Skyrim. So I played 3 out of the 4. No, I played and beat 2 out of the 3. 2 out of 3? I played and beat 3 out of the 4 chapters in Gravity Rush 2. And then I took a break. I took a fucking break, and for like 2 weeks straight, I played Skyrim. And I just returned to Gravity Rush 2 the other day, and I beat it on... When did I beat this shit? I beat it on the 1st. And that leaves just the one game. And I'm still playing it right now. I'll talk about that briefly, too. The Last of Us Part 2. I have been honestly pretty excited to play this one, to finally get to the legendary The Last of Us Part 2 that was roiled in controversy when this thing released. And I knew some of it was exaggerated and other criticisms were valid. You have people on both sides of the fence, both defending and attacking The Last of Us 2 wrongfully. There's people on both sides of the fence that are going to defend some bullshit in this game that they shouldn't be defending. They're lying. I'll give an example. Let me read what you gotta fucking say. What's the most you'll allow yourself to start playing before adding another? Like before you buckle down and beats. I used to play like 5 games at a time. I have a hard time focusing and playing something. Sometimes I'll lose interest, like with Gravity Rush 2. I just wasn't ready to play it yet, and I found myself struggling. Fantastic game. Fantastic fucking game. My fucking chode itches. I got the grundle itch. I barely talked about that game. Very colorful. So I played Gravity Rush Remastered. It was a Vita game, and it was one of the few Vita games I wanted to buy a Vita for. And when I heard it was being ported over to the physical edition of Gravity Rush Remastered for the PlayStation 4 is one of the rarest PS4 games. I could sell that for like $400, I think. It's a very rare game. But yeah, I played that, and I had a really good time with it. The second one was amazing, even better than the original. It's really sad because this was Japan's studio that got shut down after their last game that they did was the Astrobot pack-in game for the PS5. They also helped do Bloodborne, and of course Shadow of the Colossus and Ico, and The Last Guardian, and some other stuff. I genuinely love that studio. It was one of my low key one of my favorite like top 10 studios. Just they have a really large legacy. I've secretly been like playing their shit for decades. And every time they'd come out with something, there's always some special magic with their fucking games. Absolutely fantastic games. And Gravity Rush 2 is no exception. It was absolutely fantastic. Very colorful. Just so fucking cool. I pointed out to Stacy when I was playing it the other day. She was like on an airship standing there and the wind was blowing her hair back and shit like that. And, you know, the camera was behind her. And I was like looking up her ass and shit. You could see her hair blowing back. I moved her to like look back at the camera and her hair was still blowing, but this time it was like blowing out forward in the way the wind direction was going, even though the character was turning. Like the physics in that game are great. The controls, the way you fucking do the gravity shit, how you fall up into the side, if you slam into a fucking wall, the camera shifts and the wall is now the floor. It's amazing. It puts Super Mario Galaxy to shame. It's so fun to play. There's very few games where just the locomotion of the game going from point A to point B is fantastic and fun. A good example would be Just Cause. Just Cause 3 and Just Cause 4. Those are fun games, but just going from point A to point B with your glider, using your zip lines and the parachutes and swapping in between them, it's so fun to fucking go. This game, it's the same thing. It's just fun to fucking play, and they add new styles to the game. You're not just floating around with your gravity powers. They actually have a light gravity and a heavy gravity variant for combat and traversal. Just a brilliant fucking game, and they add way more story to it. It's very colorful, and it's nonsensical at times, but it's so fun. It's so fun, and it's really sad that the studio got shut down. I think this is one of their last games that they did. This was their last big AAA release that they did outside of you know, the Astrobot Pack-In game. Fantastic game though. But to answer your question, I try to play. There was a time where I played like 5 games at a time. I tried to rotate them out because I get bored with what I'm playing. I found out that I also get bored of what I'm playing because I'm playing other shit and it's distracting me from the other stuff. So a few years ago, I figured this out and I went on a campaign to finish up everything I was playing and then just to play a single title at a time. One title. One. And I'll play that one, be fully invested in it, and then when I'm done, and only move on after that. So that's my current plan, is to do that. And right now I'm playing The Last of Us 2. I got other stuff I want to play, other things on the horizon, but the faster I get through the game I'm currently playing, the sooner I could start the next project. And I find that when I do this, I'm more focused and I just get through games faster. Because when I'm playing 4 or 5 titles at the same time, it takes me like, I'm playing the same shit for like a whole goddamn month. You know, if I pop in 5 fucking games, it feels like that's all I'm doing, is just spinning my wheels. I'll play a chapter or 2 of this game, and then I'll play a chapter or 2 of this game, and then that one, and then that one. And then a week goes by, and then I'm on chapter 3. It just sucks. And I tend to wear my games evenly that way. It's weird, but even though I play a lot of things, and I play a lot of things at the same time, that's how you get very bored very quickly of the hobby. So I try to play just one thing at a time, and playing multiple games at the same time like that. Some other people could juggle that easier and better. It is difficult to do. But doing that, I tend to walk away from games easier. You know, if I'm playing a lot of games, at some point I have to go, you know what, I'm not having fun doing this. I'm just going to pick these up later and just focus on these titles. And I never do. I never get back to those other titles. So to answer the question, 1 is the answer. Sometimes I'll do a project or I'll do something special, like in the case of Gravity Rush 2. I needed a refresher. I wasn't quite ready for that game. I didn't want to put it on the back burner, and I didn't want to start my next game before I finished it. So what I did, I just said, fuck it, Skyrim. And I just blitzed out for 2 fucking weeks, like literally playing for like 12 to 16 hours a day sometimes, playing Skyrim. I literally put in like 150 hours in 2 weeks fucking time playing Skyrim again. And then one day recently, I was like, you know what? I think I'm done. That was all I needed. And then I finished Gravity Rush 2 and started The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah. You've heard of Gravity Rush 2, the Gravity Rush games? Yeah, they're fun. Rule 34. Gravity Rush, Rule 34. There was something about the games that I couldn't put my finger on. They're not traditional Asian. They're not traditional Asian. They don't look Japanese. They look inspired by, they're made by a Japanese studio. And I figured it out. Just like Final Fantasy X, Gravity Rush, they are Pacific Islander, like Filipino or Thai or something like that. They're Pacific Islander Asian. They're like the brown-skinned Asians, and you could see it in the geometry and not geometry, but the architecture. They have Pacific Islander architecture and stuff, and the way the clothes they dress in and stuff has a lot of Pacific Islander flair to it and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. That was pretty fucking cool. You don't see a Pacific Islander Asian game. It's usually Japanese all day, every day. And there's some Chinese stuff too. And South Korean stuff too. But Southeast Asia, yeah. I think that's what I was looking for. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I love them Asians. Yeah, gotta love them Asians. I love all women. Probably all of them. Well, maybe not all of them equally. I'm not gonna do a tier list of women by race. You know how fucking girls could get away with that shit? A lot of girls are like, oh, I only like black guys. And they could just say that racist ass shit for free. I only like this type of guy. Could you imagine if a fucking dude said that? I only like these type of women. Everyone else, blah. Everyone would be like, oh my God, you're racist. Girls gonna say that shit for free. For fucking free. And no one bats an eye. Okami, yeah. I got a bad story with Okami. I attempted to play that. I think this year or last year. I attempted to play Okami. I put in like 15 hours in that fucking game. And I was enjoying it at first. And it just drug on way too long. And it got way too convoluted. And I lost interest. I was able to bear through. It's just an old game. That's what it is. I really should have played this goddamn thing and beat it back when it first came out. Because game design has evolved since then. It really has. And this game is amazing when it comes to the art style and other things, but it's just an old goddamn game. So playing Okami HD, I got halfway through it and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do this anymore. I can't go through the janky camera and the running around, not knowing where to go, and the weird combat, and just that PS2 jank. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. The GameCube and PS2 era, OG Xbox era of 3D platformers and shit is like arguably the worst era for that space. Very few games in that era, in that space, do it very well. Very few games. Halo did it well. Metroid Prime did it well, although these were first-person games, but that proves my point. Very few like third-person like action adventure games hold up that well from that era, and this is sadly is one of them. I know a lot of people would murder me for talking shit about Okami like this, but Okami! There, I said it. With the echo. Oh, want me to get Stacy to say it? Stacy! Heard her grunt again. Okay, repeat after me.
No.
Say Okami!
No.
Come on, say it.
I'm not saying nothing.
Oh,
No.
you're making everyone cry.
Oh well.
Oh well. There's your answer.
You're making me cry.
You're making her cry. Oh. Thought she would do it. Thought she was game. Thought she was game. Comes out here, starts talking about her poop and shit. She ain't gonna do that. She's like, fuck you guys. All right. Last one before I gotta fucking go. The Last of Us Part 2. This was the game I was talking about. Like, it's a solid 9.5 or 10. The game is absolutely amazing. Just all the other shit aside, the game is just amazing. I got a lot of thoughts about this thing. The politics in this is what drags it down. The politics in this game are gross. Now, there's people on both sides that are like, I'll give an example of both sides. There's people who are lying on one side and say, oh, no, there's none of that stuff in this game. Yeah, there fucking is. Probably the most prominent example I could give on this is the voice actor for Joel, Troy Baker. Is it better than the first? God damn. I haven't beaten it yet. But so far, yes, without a doubt, yes. I'll explain. So like Troy Baker, the voice actor of Joel, I remember he was doing a stream or on someone's podcast or something like that, and they were talking about the leaks in the game. At this point, there was a lot of leaks in the game regarding, I'm just gonna come out and say it, Joel's fucking death. Everyone fucking knows he dies in The Last of Us Part 2. Everyone fucking knows that this bitch fucking kills him, and then the game makes you play as her. And that's really fucking shitty. Everyone knows this. These leaks were going around and people were figuring this shit out, making golf club fucking jokes and shit like that. And fucking Troy Baker goes on because he doesn't understand how the internet works. And he lies and he says that it's fake. They're faked. And then he just calls everyone transphobes and haters. So that's an example of a blatant lie that people make to defend this game that are rooted in politics. It's fucking stupid. And then on the other side of the fence, I don't know if you've heard this, but I remember there's some videos going around that are showing the reaction of the voice actor and mocap actor who played the character Dina in the game. Dina is the girl in the trailer, that gameplay reveal trailer that showed her kissing Ellie. And so in the game, she was streaming it, and then she came across, so she was playing the game and streaming it, and she came across her character in the game, the real life actress, the girl who played the character Dina in the game. She came across the part where the two of them were kissing and stuff, and she acted like she was mortified. So there's a video going around of that clip saying, oh, look, this actor is disgusted when she learns that Sony used her character and likeness as, as a lesbian. That's not true. She knew exactly what she was doing and saying. The lines in the game, she didn't read a line saying, oh, I love you, and all this sexual stuff towards another woman, and then not understand that her character's like, she knew exactly what her character was doing. She knew exactly what her character was doing. The lines, she knows everything about this fucking shit. She didn't learn playing the game about this the first fucking time. So that's an example of a lie on the other side as well. To be fair, that's the only one I know of. But just you see some shit on the political side from, both sides of the argument there. Just defending, the narrative. Like, one side wants to defend the SJW shit in the fucking game like it's the best thing ever, and then they lie and say some of it's not even in the game when it is. That's a weird thing. Like, if you like something and you're proud of something, why would you lie and say it's not in the game? And the other side is lying about the narrative as well. I gave an example of that. So there's some shit in the fucking game. The big major things are the lesbian stuff and Allie. Not Ellie, Allie. Allie is the character who fucking kills Joel. She is the beast of a woman. She's the big, chunky, strong fucking boom, boom, just the huge arms, fucking Hulk, the fucking She-Hulk. She's a goddamn She-Hulk. She's more muscular than any dude in the fucking game. It is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, on this quest to fucking be inclusive and ultra feminize. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Those are the two main things the internet kicks up a huge fuss about. And when it comes to these topics in general, well, let's start with Ellie and her being a lesbian. There's there's a love story going on, between her and Dina, and I gotta say it's tasteful. It's tasteful. I don't mind this stuff if it's done well and it's tasteful. A good example would be the game Gone Home. That's a gay story. It's a really good story. I like the story, and it's not shoved down your fucking throat. It's just what it is. Ellie was gay from the first game. It's canonical. It's in the story. That's her character. It's part of who she is. And it's literally part of the story to a great dynamic in this game. To a great dynamic in terms of her quest and what she's doing, and her little girlfriend who tags along, and the adventures they get into. You're not just going to do this for a friend. You know what I mean? There's a lot of mature elements in this game regarding sex and love and real relationship stuff, and it was done tasteful. And there's some genuine scenes in the game that are quite sweet. They relate, and it's pretty normalized. They remind me of, some stuff that I went through with, maybe some of my girlfriends from back in the day. And it's just done really well. And so the whole lie that people are freaking out over the gay thing, that's not true. She was gay in the first fucking game. Nobody freaked out then. Spoiler alert, she's gay in the sequel too. No one's really freaking out about this. The leftoids are lying about that. So, but that's the first thing I wanted to address. It wasn't just inserted in the game just to be in the fucking game. Her being gay was already in the fucking game. She's not a teenager anymore. She's like 18. She's a young adult. She's going through like a relationship arc. It's going to be a gay one. But there is weird insertions of shit in the fucking game. There is weird insertions in the game, and that's what I don't fucking like. That's what's really weird, and it's out of place. All sorts of stuff, like pro-communism stuff. There's two factions fighting. There's like a more militarized version, like remnants of the U.S. military. There's a faction fighting with a militia group, a local militia group, and they're fighting, and they're both doing horrible fucking shit, right? And you come across notes and stuff like that about both sides and the atrocities both sides are doing. And you'll pick up a note and read about fucking something horrible that the government facility is doing. And your character will be like, oh, that's so horrible, fucking fascists. And then you'll read a note about what the militia group is doing, just as equally bad shit, and your character is like, oh, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's like, what? Really? It's horrible when they do it, but not when they do it. Seriously? Just like little things like that you could really tell the developers making this game are like, I'm gonna write about this evil fascist. And then when they write, they have complete lack of self-awareness. When they write the same fucking horrible shit that the other faction is doing, then it's okay. And then there's a third group that fucking split away from the militia group, similar to how the militia group split away from the government group, and they're portrayed as crazy, insane zealots, because anything related to religion is bad these days. Like you could see and smell the politics, modern day politics in this game, and it's ridiculous. And it's just so in your fucking face. You know, the gay shit was handled very well and gracefully, and the storyline is very mature and very classy. It's tasteful. It's good. I like it. I fucking like it. They don't fucking show Ellie's titties or nothing like that. They're being respectful. It's nice. It's good. Everything else, though, is weird and out of place. I'll give it another example of weird fucking politics in the fucking game. There's not once, but 2 times in the game with 2 different characters, there's a woman is pregnant, and in both cases, they make a point to neuter the male, the dad, for no reason. One of the guys learns that his fucking girl is pregnant and goes, oh, he's a super badass fucking guy. I love this character. And then he goes, oh, well, what's she gonna do? What has she decided to do? Like he has no fucking say. Well, no, when you chop off your own fucking balls and hand them up on a platter like that, no, I guess you don't have anything to fucking say about it. Jesus, dude. And then again, in another situation with another pregnant character, she's having a conversation with someone else, and they're like, oh, well, and the person asks, well, you know, what does so-and-so think? The dad, right? Oh, what does so-and-so think? And she goes, oh, well, he doesn't get to fucking decide what I do. It's like, why is this in my game? Why? It's fucking stupid. And it's just little shit like that everywhere, from the pro-communist shit to the fucking the fucking my body, my choice shit, to the fucking strong woman shit. Like, it's ridiculous how fucking meaty this bitch is. Holy shit. It's little things like that peppered in. I'm like 16 hours into the fucking game, and it's wearing me down. It's so fucking stupid. I hard eye roll every time shit like this is in the game. And it prevents the game from being a perfect 10. It really does. It really fucking does. Without all of this, without all that gross bullshit, I would probably give the game a solid 9.5. And I still wouldn't be comfortable giving the game a 10, but I could see how someone would say, yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I could see how someone would say that. But me personally, I can't fucking ignore all of that eye-rolly shit. And it's not because I don't agree with the politics. I don't really care about that. Again, for instance, it's just treated differently. It's just fucking treated differently. Again, the lesbian romance story between Ellie and Dina, very tasteful, very good, and it is quite enjoyable. They treated that part of the game with respect and tastefulness, and it's quite good. I don't care if it's Ellie or someone else, or if it's a gay storyline or a straight storyline. Just give me that, and we're good. They don't do that with everything else. With the pro-communist shit and the anti-religious shit, it's just thrown in there, ham-fisted, clumsy, and it hurts the writing. A game that is all about the amazing narrative and writing in the story, it's just ham-fisted bullshit, and it hurts the overall package. And if that wasn't in there, again, I don't care what it's about, but if this shit wasn't in there, it would be better. And same thing goes for any other political ideology or talking point, even things not related to politics or religion at all. Anything that's ham-fisted and stupid and weird and out of place, it's just going to detract from a game like this. It's going to detract from any game, really. And, you know, that's just something that's unfortunate. That's what's keeping this game from being a 10. But the story overall is pretty great. I will say that. And the thing I do disagree with everyone else on when it comes to this is the gameplay. I don't think the gameplay is mediocre with a really great story. I think the gameplay is actually really good. It plays just like The Last of Us 2. It's this blend of stealth, survival gameplay. You're collecting parts and piecing together fucking pipe bombs and shit on the fly. You know, you fucking get hurt and there's more guys coming around. You're hiding, hoping they don't see you as you're crafting a med kit to patch yourself. Like, that shit's great. They expand that on so many levels in the sequel. It's so fucking good. And I think I'm playing a little bit longer than I should be because I'm taking my extra time exploring and getting all the stuff to craft everything with. And the upgrade trees are better. And it just feels really good. The gameplay is really good. It's like Uncharted, but more in depth. It has like that RPG survival thing going on, and way more bloody too. Then of course I got to the dog violence. I don't like that because, you know, I'm an animal lover, but it's not that bad. I'll just get fucking wrecked by one of these fucking pooches for the first time. They fucking grab your whole face. Fucking have that shit happen once, and they're like, okay, fuck these dogs. Fuck these dogs. Get savagely mauled by one of these fucking things, and then you won't be crying for them anymore. That's all it takes. They return with the bloody, violent fucking death animations and stuff. And it's fucking crazy. If they no-show Allie's boobas. Do they show it? I think they do. Maybe they do. I don't know. The politics are not starving. Allie's boobas. They haven't showed them yet. I just got to the part where I'm playing as Allie now. That's the part I'm at. I'm a little concerned because everyone says, all the critics say that you play most of the game as her. Like 2/3 of the game you're playing as Allie and not Ellie. So I'm like 16 hours into the game. I just got to the part where the game switched over and I'm playing as Allie. And gotta be honest, I don't really want to play for twice as long as I already have been. I don't want to play for 30 more hours as fucking Allie. To be honest, the game could have wrapped up around now. I get why people say that it's a little long in the tooth. It could have ended sooner, but I'm having fun with it. The gameplay is fantastic. The politics are kind of gross. It could be worse, though. It could be worse. The number one thing this game's got going for it that I'll excuse it is the fact that it's just really good. I will forgive a game and its shitty politics if it's just good. That's all I'm asking for. Give me a great fucking game and I'll ignore your shitty politics. I'll laugh at it and make a small deal out of it, but just give me a good goddamn game and we're golden. That's really it. My problem is so many companies make games just as a means to push their shitty politics. They make shitty fucking games. And it's infuriating watching everyone act like it's fucking a good game when it's not. It's like, oh, really? Did you beat it? No. It happens so many times. And it's like Saints Row. I love the Saints Row series. And we got that remake where they self-censored themselves. And it's a shadow of its former self because they were more concerned with the weird politics. Just give me a good game and we got no problem. This is a good example of that. This is a good game. And yeah, it does have weird, gross politics in there. At its base, it's just a good game. I don't really have any more to expand on that. It's a good game with weird politics, and the politics detract from it overall, but it doesn't ruin it. If I had to put a number score on it right now, I'd probably put an 8 on it, just because I was having a lot of fun playing as Ellie. And Allie, the She-Hulk, she has a completely separate set of weapons, upgrades, and talent trees. So you have to relearn stuff and regather resources to kind of upgrade those separately. So you're kind of like resetting and starting from zero. Again, I didn't like that. And I was having a blast. I had my shit down pat with Ellie and her stealth and fucking her bow and arrow and shit. I had my shit down fucking perfect, and then they swapped me, and I don't really like that. So that I don't like Allie as a character. It's really fucking weird. Just her story, not her story, but the politics surrounding her, and then the fact that my shit got reset, essentially having to play with her now. That's really what's keeping me from giving this game I don't know, a higher score. But as of right now, yeah, it's not. No, it's not a 10. It's not a bad game either. Story is really fucking good though. Just the story. There's some flashback scenes. I hate flashback scenes in games. They're boring, and I just want them to hurry up so I could get back to the main game. The flashback scenes in this game, and there's a few, they're plentiful. Flashback scenes in this game are fantastic. Fantastic. In between the end of The Last of Us 1 and the 4 years later that, when Ellie's 18 now, just the 4 years in between there's flashback scenes that explain shit. Flashback scenes with Joel. The one where it's her birthday is particularly amazing. So fucking cool. It's moments like that that really make this game shine. But yeah, I'm having tons of fun with this game, and I'm not really sure how close to the end I am, but I'm enjoying it, and that's what I'm playing as my final PlayStation 4 title in my physical library. I'm playing it on the PS5 with the 60 frames per second patch. I made sure it was on there. I went into the settings, turned it back to 30, make sure. I can't do it. Can't fucking do it. Gotta play 60. But it's really good. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm actually gonna go and play some more here in a second. But I've talked way too long, bro. I really enjoyed you here through the whole time talking with me and shit like that. It's been a blast. It's been you took an hour and you turned it into 2 hours. Been having some fun. Been having some fucking fun. Stacy, are you lurking? Thought maybe she was lurking around the corner or something like that. I think she was just letting the cat out. But I gotta fucking go. Honestly, I gotta go to the bathroom and I gotta fucking eat because I gotta eat every 3 hours on account of the diabetes. That sucks. That fucking sucks. Getting old, man. Getting old. I got games to play, bitches to fuck, and drinks to drink. I will see you, brother. Have a good one. Say hi to your mom for me.